this is the summary of Act 1 of Shakespeare's As You Like It. First, we have to meet our cast. Here, we have Rosalind, who is the daughter of this Duke named just Duke Senior. His name is Duke Senior. And basically, Duke Senior has been banished to the forest by the usurper of the throne, aka Duke Frederick, this mean old little douchebag, the uncle of Rosalind, as well as the father of Rosalind's bestie, who is also her cousin. And she is Celia. Then we also have this character who's called Orlando, and he's like a very well liked guy. He's like gentle, everyone likes him, yada yada yada, yippee-ki-yay! But he has his jealous brother named Oliver, and Oliver hates him because he gets all the stuff, and even though he also gets a portion of the inheritance, he also wants Orlando's by ruining his life. Also, since Oliver's older than Orlando, he can go ahead and do anything the hell he wants. So he prevents Orlando from getting an education. He prevents Orlando from getting a good education, and he also decides to take away his inheritance money, which of course is a big no-no back then. There's this middle brother. His name's Jacques. Apparently, that's the French way of saying it, and he's just the messenger. We have this clown who goes by the alias of Touchstone. And finally, we have these two guys. Labio, basically the courtier, and Adam, who's basically the very loyal servant of Orlando. Oh, and there's this wrestler, his name's Charles, and he's supposed to be really, really strong. So the scene starts off in Orlando's house. He goes ahead and decides to go ahead and confront Oliver. And he basically says, okay, bro, why don't I get an education? Why don't I have an education? Why did you take away my inheritance? Oliver is made pretty mad by all this. And tries to do what he can do. Slap his brother. Unfortunately for Oliver, Orlando's a really good fighter. And beats Oliver up, saying he'll leave Oliver as soon as Oliver gives him back his inheritance. Oliver agrees to this, and Orlando walks out. Then Charles, this guy over here, a bodybuilder, as well as basically the guy who's going to be wrestling Orlando tomorrow, tells Oliver, okay, tell your brother to cancel the match tomorrow, because if he doesn't, I can't guarantee that he'll come out of it without injuries. Oliver convinces Charles that Orlando is a terrible person and should instead be killed instead of have been seriously injured, which for some reason Charles believes and decides on. Then we meet the two cousins, Rosalind and Celia. Rosalind is weeping because, Duke Frederick, remember, Celia's father, went ahead and banished his brother, the rightful heir of the throne, who is basically Rosalind's father, and by sending him to the forest. Celia tries to cheer Rosalind by getting Touchstone, the court jester, to cheer her up. Unfortunately, the jester's only expertise is in puns. Fortunately, this is the time when the wrestling match starts. Duke Frederick orders Rosalind to tell this guy, he doesn't know his name, that he's gambling his life. Rosalind tells him that, and he says, don't worry. He beats the heck out of the wrestler in true underdog fashion, which is pretty great in my opinion. The Duke asks Orlando for his name. Orlando says that he is Sir Rowland the Boy's son. Little note here, Duke realizes Sir Rowland the Boy is basically his enemy, so he says, hey, you're his son? I wish you were someone else's son, cause then if you are his son, I cannot congratulate you. I must banish you. Rosalind and Celia go ahead and go to Orlando to congratulate him, with a little awkward interaction between you guessed it, Rosalind and Orlando. Celia asks Rosalind how she can love him so fast, but she just says she does. And that's pretty much the entirety of Act 1, in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed this summary. I'll see you guys soon in the next one, and until then, peace. Bye-bye!